Babe, you are the only competition that you have in this world. You should only be competing with the last version of yourself. I mean it, okay? Think about it like if you're in a race, if you're looking to who's on the left of you and who's on the right of you, you're gonna slow down. You're gonna slow down. You're probably gonna get intimidated. You're probably gonna trip over your own feet, right? Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. Look straight forward, right? You have no competition in this world. And that's the truth. You don't have any competition. Compete with the last version of yourself. Where was I at yesterday? Where was I at a month ago? Where was I at a year ago? You know? And nine times out of 10, especially if you're doing the work, you're going to realize you've made a lot of progress. And that means you should always be satisfied, you know? Doesn't mean you stop working towards being the best version of yourself. Nope. You keep going. You keep doing you. You keep trying your best to, you know, outshine the last version of yourself. But I feel like this world has programmed it to be competition amongst women. And again, I can only speak from a woman's point of view. But competition amongst women is so common. And I think it's a large reason why a lot of women fight against each other and try to bring each other down and try to compete and try to secretly destroy the other one and become friends with them and then try to stab them in the back and then blah, 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 blah. It's like, babe, if you are focused on yourself, you don't have time to do any of that. You're going to think, what am I going to do to elevate myself? What am I going to do to, you know, improve my business? What am I going to do to make more money? What am I going to do to more importantly, become more spiritually aligned, to become closer to God, to become a better version of myself in all ways possible? There's no competition. You shouldn't see anyone in this world as competition. And I think when you have that mindset, it just keeps you in a better space mentally. But you start to see women who maybe your peers or who have similar lifestyles to what you're aiming for, or who do the job that you want to do. You see them as inspiration. You don't see them as a threat. You know, you become more receptive to even asking for help. Or, hey girl, how did you do XYZ? How did you blah, 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 blah. You know, it becomes more communication and collaboration versus competition. I do not understand the competitive nature of a lot of people, and I'm not going to just generalize it for women because I think it's human nature. Although my life in particular, a lot of mean girls and a lot of anyway, not going to get into that. Don't deserve the shine. But yeah, you are your only competition. You do not need to fit a certain beauty standard. You do not need to do the exact same thing that girl is doing. You do not need to copy that girl's outfit. You do not need to, you know, when you start to see other women as the blueprint, you already lost. You already lost. And I spoke to my lovely friend who I'm working with behind the scenes. She has a pageant coming up. Side note, I do not endorse pageantry. I personally had a horrible experience. Some of you guys may have heard, some of you guys may be new to my channel, but I do not endorse pageantry. Want to make that extra clear. But this young lady's mom came to me and they were just very sweet, and I offered to sponsor her a dress, which I'm making and she loves, and I'm so excited to show you guys what I made for her. But I also offered up, you know, free phone calls with her and just kind of coaching her, because for me, even though I don't endorse that industry, I want to make sure that I can give her a positive experience through just our connection, and then also share information with her, because again, I'm not an insecure person. I don't understand, cough cough, how women are so competitive to the point that even when you're working towards the same goal, they will destroy you. I'm not gonna get into that. But my point is, when I was speaking to her, I was telling her this, like, in the space, it's so easy to compare yourself to other people, especially because it's a beauty pageant, you know? And so you start to look at all these beautiful women who are all skilled and so amazing. And if you're not secure within yourself, especially if the environment is intentionally destroying you, you become, you compare. It's inevitable to compare and to see lack within yourself. And, you know, you put other people on this pedestal because you forget why you were there in the first place, for your own uniqueness, you know. And especially when you win titles, I was telling her this. I'm like, listen, you were chosen for a reason. You are beautiful, you're kind, you're intelligent, you're smart. When you go in that space, remember all those things. Do not all of a sudden start comparing yourself to the other girl, because it's like comparing peaches and oranges. You're both beautiful, incredible young ladies. They're all beautiful, incredible young ladies, but do not allow this space to make you second guess your worth, you know. And it's so true in any kind of landscape, really. Social media, the workspace, competing for jobs, all these different things. I'm a big collaboration person, and so I'm just not competitive at all. And when I am competitive, it's in a sports mindset. I may be competitive because I want to win or I want to do my best, but I will always believe in good sportsmanship, helping another girl up if she fell down, tying another girl's shoe if she doesn't realize she's going to trip. That's my mindset, you know. And so I was telling her basically, more or less, to keep being her and don't compare yourself, especially physically. The flowers don't compare themselves. A rose doesn't grow next to a sunflower and stop feeling beautiful. I know they're not sentient beings, although debatable, but depends who you ask. But the rose next to the sunflower, they don't look at each other's beauty and then stop blooming. They just bloom. They just bloom because they're so beautiful in their own right. You know, I really do believe that for women too. And I know there are some people who may say, okay, well, you're saying this as somebody who has a certain look and blah, 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 blah. I really believe every woman is beautiful. I really believe that God made us all intentionally in his image and likeness, you know. And so there's no point in self-destructing, but also no point in destroying other women too. There is no gain from that. To be honest, I think you reap a lot of karma and it's not worth it. And to be honest, if you start to feel that insecure about somebody or around somebody, you should become more aware and start to go inwardly. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel so intimidated? I've had women, y'all, and this is not me ranting. I think sometimes my delivery comes across as ranting. I'm just passionate. But I've had women literally from as young as I could remember, from as young as maybe, literally from a child. I was gonna say teenager, but literally from a child. But especially when I was a teenager, girls that I didn't even know, I would come into a room and I will intentionally be how I am, inviting, bubbly, and then I'll just be met with, I'm like, I don't know you, girl. We got beef? I don't know you, babe. Who are you? Oh, we met? No, we didn't meet. But your energy is telling me I'm not welcomed, I'm this, I'm that, right? I've had girls literally say they don't like me when they never met me. How can you not like me? It says a lot about you, right? And so as someone who had to deal with that all my life, I don't know if it's because maybe I have RBF, maybe, but also it seems more personal. So I just, it was always something that as I got older, it started to take a toll on me, because I was kind of like, how many people do I have to deal with like this when I don't think I'm deserving of this kind of energy, you know what I mean? And to be honest, kind of took a toll on me. But then I was like, if you're not mad, babe, there must be a reason. That's why they hate me. Because I started embracing it. I think I'm in my accidental villain era. But anyway, my point is, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're worthy. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody. You don't have to compare yourself to me. You are worthy just as you are. Even to those girls who still haven't apologized, who still treat me that way up until this day, literally still would swear up and down they have a problem with me and they make up all these issues. I don't know you, babe, you don't know me, but anyway, even to them, I genuinely pray that they find peace, and that they love themselves and they learn how valuable they are. And you know, there's no competition. We don't need to compete. We are both equally valuable. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. We're both God's children, you know? And so, yeah, you're your only competition, babe. That's something for me I had to remember after being in the pageant space, especially because by the time I got to internationals, I was just like, I didn't know who I was. I heard everything wrong about me for so long that I really was programmed to forget my value and compare myself, and it was bad. But in a funny way, it happened to remind me who I always was. And I don't believe God puts us through things just to go through things. It's always for a bigger picture and to remind us of certain lessons and to, you know, hopefully pass that on to people. So that's what I wanted to speak about today. You're not anyone's competition. They're not your competition. You remember to wear your crown and be kind and be beautiful and be amazing, right? And also, one, if you are questioning your worth, please know you're valuable, but also know that it's okay to own your space, you know, because as someone who was a shy kid at one point, I didn't even want to speak. I didn't even want to make eye contact because so many people were just meeting me with that energy that I started to take it on for myself. Like, yeah, there must be something wrong with me. Oh yeah, I am this type of person. And it became a real thing, you know. I allowed the program to set in on me. But then the flip side, if you're a confident, you know, bubbly person, do not feel the need to dim your light. Do not do that, babe. Because then the flip side of it, where I was more confident, I had people attack me still. I had them attack me still. So my point is, either side of, you know, the spectrum of it, you are worthy and deserving of being in the room. If you're the shy girl, if you're the confident girl, if you're the dorky girl, if you're the nerdy girl, if you're the sporty girl, if you're the beauty queen, if you're the artist, if you're whatever you are, you deserve to be in that room. And I never want you to second guess your worth. And also, I think for me, even though I'm joking, you know, being a little spicy towards mean girls, even the mean girls, most of them are, well, I think all of them really, whether or not they know, are operating from a place of hurt. And so just like God gave us grace and gives us grace, let's give them grace too. Unless they come attacking you, then you gotta stand up for yourself, because girl, I allowed it too long. You gotta stand up and speak up. Okay, anyway, but with love, you know, don't be, you know, you put people in their place, but you don't try to hurt them the way that they hurt you. You know, you do it in a way that you defend yourself, but it doesn't mean that you go below the belt. But anyway, I love you guys. Leave a comment. I'm just trying to share random things with you guys. Again, this is just my experience, and I'm not forcing you to accept my truth as your truth, but I do hope this helps somebody who may be struggling with seeing their beauty. Just remember that you are the rose. Even when the sunflowers around you is still that beautiful rose. Love you guys.